I'm gonna be tearful. You know why I'm
Be real. Come with it.
because, like I had mentioned to
Tissue.
Jen, whew, I had mentioned to her earlier on that I'm starting my first therapy lesson. Like, nobody told me. Why didn't you tell me all of this? This is
Yep.
this is like really incredible to know. Sorry, I just had to bring that.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sam and Jen Got Divorced. I can never do this. I don't know what to say. We need like a standard script that I can follow. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sam and Jen Got Divorced, where we want to see divorce rates decline, decrease, and disappear. Our podcast is about building people up and helping them bounce back from divorce. One of the things we have here is our marriage didn't work, but maybe our podcast will. Today, we are joined by a phenomenal woman and our host, whose voice not only is wise and is transparent, it is healing. And she does a number of things, one of which has to do with matchmaking. We got a chance to meet her during our wedding, and so she was part of our wedding, and she is a dear friend and an inspiring individual, and we are very happy to have her with us today to host us in our conversation. So thank you so much again. Today we've got Samantha Crossley with us. So join in, lean in. There will be lots of insights. There will be lots of moments of realness for you to take away. So let's jump in.
All righty. Oh, well, thank you so much, Jen. And Sam. I've seen you for a while.
Are we allowed to talk about our experience? Because here we are on the other side.
Mhm.
We are now divorced, and you were a part of our wedding journey. You were a part of our initial coming together. And how we know you is through what you used to do before, which is like wedding planning, coordination. So you've done a lot of this work, seeing people come together. You've been a part of their love stories. And part of that is very inspiring and sort of passion motivated for you, where you love to see people come together, which is why you've sort of,
Yeah,
transitioned into more matchmaking and so on.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm sort of curious about what this is like for you to be sitting before us. We're match unmated, and we've matched unmatched.
Unmatched?
We've unmatched.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here, as someone who's such a proponent of
Crazy. You guys doing this? Like, I don't even know how. In one sense, I understand. And I'm super happy that, because I've never seen anything like this before in my life, one. But I think it's going to be a great transition for people to understand what they're really getting into.
Yeah,
I've come
absolutely.
from a family where a lot of us are kind of broken all over the place, and it's only my parents. I grew up in a household, my parents are still married to this day, so, and I wanted to set that example for my children, But then I also understand being married, that even if you know somebody 20 years later, those things still come up, So there's always training grounds along the way. And I've had a couple of people who I have attended their wedding, been part of their wedding, decorated and like been the planner for their wedding, and also when they've got divorced. So I've seen both sides of it. I wanted to ask you a few questions though. When did you each feel ready to kind of like date again? Like,
oh well, I was like, I gotta go first. I was like, oh. Ready. When did I feel ready? I still don't feel ready.
Okay.
To be very honest, I think I feel readier.
Okay.
With every passing year. I feel more knowledgeable about myself. I feel more aware about myself and like who I am, what I want, what I'm willing to give in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say that I can't say I feel fully ready.
Okay.
But I definitely feel readier with each passing year. Like I'll say that. one of the things I remember, I started dating like 10 months, 8 to 10 months or so out of separation. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. I went to therapy for like 8 months. I went to like support groups and all that. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I met this guy. He was great, fun, travel the world. Let's do it. And I felt ready at that time. And I think part of me was ready to entertain some new person in my life. But when it comes to being fully healed, giving myself time to get to know myself alone, recognizing and understanding the impact of separation and divorce and loss of these dreams and ideas that I had about what marriage would be like for me and my life, I definitely didn't have all of that. I went through therapy and I did some things, and there was a measure of healing.
Yeah.
But I mean, divorce is not like it's not like we're healing a paper cut. You know what I mean? It's you've gone through like a serious like wounding. It's like major intrusive surgery and trauma.
Wow.
And I think a lot of us, and this is true for me because I mean, we're 10 years out almost. And so I look back and I know, oh my goodness, there was so many things that were really bad. But I think a lot of us, we start dating again and we have like a little Band-Aid over this gaping wound. And we're just dripping blood all over ourselves, all over the place, all over the other person. Like it's a messy situation. Right? But you think about people that go through surgery, you have a whole like, recovery rehabilitation plan, right? You have to take time off work and you have to go through physiotherapy and you have to dress the wound and redress the wound and all this stuff. And you have to make sure you don't get infections. And like, there's a whole entire care plan when there's trauma. And I think emotional trauma, divorce is emotional trauma. And so you have to go through the process of caring for yourself and rehabbing. Healing. And I didn't do that. I definitely didn't do that. And I look back now and I see a lot of ways in which I just entertained maladaptive behaviors in relationships. Like there since and including my marriage, there has been like crossover in every single relationship. So like I might be done in my mind, but I'm not really done. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, we're still talking, whatever. But like I've moved on in my mind. Like that, and that kind of behavior is seeking, searching behavior. That's like I'm not settled. I'm not at ease. I'm constantly craving like validation. Who's gonna tell me that I'm okay? Who's gonna tell me that, I'm not unworthy or not undeserving or I'm not enough. Like who's gonna do that for me? And when it settles with one person, and it becomes a little bit comfortable, then I need more, right? I need more reassurance, and somebody new is gonna do that for me. Like it's been a lot of like just not good patterns in relationships. So
my goodness, that's wow. I'm sorry, I'm just downloading that because essentially when I look at somebody saying 10 years, I'm like, wow, that's more than enough time for you to bounce back. And
from the beginning, I think I didn't realize just how detrimental moving too quickly into dating would be. With 9-10 years of hindsight, I can see that.
Right.
I couldn't do that from the vantage point where I was at. There's no way for me to see into the future and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see a pattern, noticeable pattern of lack of commitment, lack of emotional availability. There's nothing that could have told me that. I felt ready at the time. But now when you ask me the question, was I ready? No. Was I lonely? Yes. Was I needy? Yes. Was I broken? Maybe not broken. I don't know. But I was in pain.
Right.
There was a lot there that I had to work through and to deal with. And now looking back, I'm like, nah, don't try to do this. Like skip the healing part. Baby girl, you need to be alone. Like be alone. Just you get to know you. 100%. In the grief. And I think, I think a lot of us just kind of believe the hype. And there's a reason why. Second marriages fail at almost double the rate as first marriages. There's a reason why. Because people do this, oh my gosh, I gotta get back into it. I gotta, get back up on my feet, get over this and move on.
Yeah.
No, you need to chill and heal so that your second doesn't end up first, like the first.
For you, Sam?
You'll have to remind me the question. Forgive me.
Sorry?
I was lost
When did you...
in the revelations.
Oh.
Not that there's anything I didn't know, but...
Okay.
Actually, maybe there was.
Why?
I think that... I mean, and as you hear in a second, I think my dating experience was very toxic and unhealthy for myself and the people that I was seeing post-divorce. But, so yeah, sometimes I just think of what I went through, and I don't always have insight into what Genevieve went through, right? Post-divorce specifically.
Yeah.
So it's really it's interesting hearing. Like it's almost like I feel less alone because I definitely made many mistakes in post-divorce dating. Maybe if you can remind me the question, I can make sure that I don't...
Yeah, sure. And when did you each feel ready to date again?
Ready to date?
Yeah, like ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ready.
I think...
You're ready.
Do you think that there's this distinction that you were making between when you wanted to date and when you were ready to date? Like desire versus readiness?
No, I don't think there was... Okay, yes, maybe. I don't know. Because I don't think I desire to date, to be really honest. I think I desire to be validated. I desire to be... Like, I was probably dating validation as opposed to dating people. Like, I was dating that need to be desired, to be seen as desirable, as wanted, as okay. Like, I went through a whole separation at the time, and it was like I felt unwanted. Like, you're discarded, and now there's like this huge mark on me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a divorcee, like, or I'm a separated person. My marriage failed, and all the things. And part of that gets to the inner core, and it's almost like okay, let me say me. It's almost like I didn't have what it took on the inside of me to reassure myself that I was okay. And so I was looking to the external world, and particularly males, to reassure me of my worth, of my value. And that doesn't mean I desire to date necessarily, because I didn't think of any of them that I was going to marry them. I didn't ever see a future with them, but I loved what they gave me. Like, yeah, sure, let me fly you out. Let's go here. Let's do, yeah. Absolutely. That fed something on the inside of me. Right? And so I think I had a desire to see myself as healed and okay. Right? Like, I was winning the divorce, the post-divorce, post-separation glow up. Like, I was there, externally.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I'm brave. I got this, but internally, oh my God, like, so much just like broken, scattered pieces of like glass in my heart.
Wow.
Yeah. It's tough. And I wouldn't necessarily share that with you. I mean, we didn't talk at all. But definitely, work that through in therapy.
And it's funny you mentioned that, because I was even thinking about people calling me for divorce parties. Like, it's a huge
divorce
thing.
Parties.
What? Crazy. So I'm thinking, what's spiraling their mind while they're actually... Because now they're doing the whole planning stages, and I'm like...
I think it's such a disrespect to the
100%.
Covenant of man. I am so sorry. I just think my
a divorce party?
It's such a disrespect.
It is.
To the covenant of marriage.
Celebrating.
What?
Coming together.
But
I know, I get it. There's some people
said,
who are in situations that are hard and they want to get out, and it's a relief. And
it sounds like what you're doing was a one-on-one divorce party. And I'm saying that with no judgment.
What do you mean?
It sounds like you were celebrating your desirability and attractiveness and value instead of bringing people together, you were doing it one-on-one with somebody who there was mutual attraction with.
No, that was in brokenness and pain and in grief. There was no celebration, sweetheart.
But you guys were not grieving together. You guys were not on your knees crying together, right? You guys were having fun.
I was in brokenness and grief. That doesn't mean the other person had to be in there.
It
doesn't matter. The point is that I'm not celebrating.
I think,
so if I'm having a divorce party, I'm definitely celebrating, and I'm inviting people to celebrate.
I think people who are having
me.
Divorce parties, they're broken, they're in grief, but they're trying to do something fun to distract themselves.
You think?
I think so. Yeah, like they're
Interesting. That's an interesting take.
yeah.
I don't know.
They're doing something
Yeah.
to take their mind off of the fact that all this failure, right?
Well,
All this pain, all this brokenness.
And I won't
Actually,
speak for everybody, but for me, I can see both sides. I could see that being the case.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. But I can also see like almost like I was in a really hard situation and now I'm out, and so I'm relieved.
Yeah.
And so I'm celebrating like my new life, and they're happy about it. Like I know some people are genuinely
Happy
thrilled
to be free.
yes.
And so you're saying that was not your experience?
No.
You weren't thrilled to be free of the shackles of being married to me, given everything that happened?
I was happy to be free of the pain,
Mhm.
but that's not my dream. Like, oh my goodness, I got married to get divorced.
Yeah. I just don't think divorce parties people are also, I don't think that was their dream either. I think they're happy to be free of the shackles of the pain of being in the marriage that they were in.
Absolutely. I agree with that. But I would differ in terms of my intention and my internal motivation. It wasn't celebration. I was certainly exploring like possibility, and I was in need of someone to meet the need that I expressed, which was like loneliness or neediness or, validation or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But I wasn't celebrating like who I got divorced, like, or I got separated. No, sorry. That wasn't a thing.
Again, none of those questions are coming from a place of judgment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or even understanding.
And it's true. And you kind of made a point there, because they do talk to me about it. When they have the divorce parties, and some of them are like, I think it's disrespectful and how the setting and everything else. And then some of them are detrimental, like hurt, like they don't know what else to do, So they've put themselves in that situation. Okay, so what do you think divorced people should be cautious about when...
Wait, did you say when you were ready? Or you didn't say you were ready?
I didn't say when I was ready.
He's like, I was never ready. I'm still not ready. No.
I mean, like my journey, like you were super vulnerable, so I'm glad you went first, because it sets the bar high. Like, to paint a bit of a picture, Genevieve and I have discussed in the past that we had our own story that was playing in our mind about when things were happening. So there was a point where Genevieve, as she's mentioned here, had moved on,
right?
And maybe even communicated to me that she had moved on, but I wasn't trying to hear that internally. I was still working through to repair our marriage. And so my side of things, everything I'm going to say is from my lens. Okay. I'm not saying this is what happened even necessarily, right? But from my lens, we were in a therapeutic separation officially. Genevieve was finishing her master's. And what she had told me, or what I understood her to have said, was that I can't make a firm decision on whether we should get back together or not until I'm done my master's. And so time was passing, and I was trying to reconcile our marriage. I was trying to deal with the addiction issues that I was struggling with. I was trying to still do romantic gestures towards her. And time was passing, and I was focused on marriage repair. And then around the time that Genevieve graduated, she told me, she's like, I want a divorce. Like this is over. And I felt disappointed and betrayed and angry at that for a few reasons. I think the biggest thing was that because we were in a therapeutic separation, my understanding of that had been that Genevieve was going to work on herself, I was going to work on myself, and then we would come back together and figure out, what do we need to do to see if this marriage would even work? Like, what other last steps are possible? Do we need special therapy from a specialized therapist? Yes. Do we need to go away for a retreat, right? Do we what there's a million options available at our disposal. And we would try all that before maybe eventually deciding that this is irreparable. But at least we would do everything in our power to figure out if this was something that could be salvaged. And I felt like that's not what happened from my perspective at the time. So I felt like I tried, I said, let's do this program or this. And Genevieve wasn't having it because, as she mentioned, she'd already moved on, right? So that was, Again, no blame, right?
Yeah.
You get your wires crossed. But I was hurt and betrayed and broken by that, even so. Right. So I transitioned into...
Rampage.
Into my own divorce party. Into my own divorce party, which was like, I was going to live life the way that I had, that a married man couldn't, that a Christian man shouldn't. I was gonna be authentic to myself for the first time ever, right? So I tried all types of different styles of dating and relationships and what have you. And it wasn't, but I wasn't ready from a health standpoint, but I was ready from a freedom and revenge standpoint and validation. The same thing, like I was trying to medicate the brokenness and hurt and disappointment that I felt because I had stuffed all that into a corner almost because I was trying to end our therapeutic separation well and make our marriage work. And so there was kind of a drop off as far as a steady focus on marriage repair and healing.
Right.
And then a drastic cliff jump into fun, debauchery, self-fulfillment in every sense of the word.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like displacement coping. I was as you were speaking, I was thinking about, because I do work with couples, but and with people who are going through divorce, and most women will start dating early, like before the ink is dry. Women are like, I'm be out here because they've grieved and let go throughout the marriage.
Yeah.
Right. They've taken those years and that time, and most men, they kind of get blindsided. They're like, oh, well, now we're doing this. It's like, they start the grieving process, whereas women have already gone through a lot of the grieving. But I was remembering there was, I don't know what, again, you have to go find it, but they've done studies on women particularly who date immediately following divorce, and they end up in worse situations longer term when it comes to like relational anxiety, when it comes to emotional regulation, and stuff shows up. It could be months later, years later, where women are all of a sudden disoriented and feeling unsettled in their lives or unsatisfied with their lives, because they started dating too early, so to speak. They didn't get a chance to really work through the healing process. And I thought it was interesting for you to say that, like, hey, you're sort of holding out hope, and then there's this drastic cliff jump. Whereas I think for a lot of women, it's letting go of hope, and then getting to a place where, and not intentionally, but getting to a place where they have to face the reality of what's happened. You know what I mean? It's almost like hitting a wall versus jumping off a cliff.
Yeah. When I look at like me letting go of hope, like I think it makes sense for you to have gradually let go of that hope because of the repeated, hurtful, traumatic situations that you were in, right? Like what else, how much more painful might it have been?
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I think that bears witness with sort of what's on trend when it comes to relationships.
What do you think divorced people should be cautious about when re-entering the dating scene?
What should divorced people be cautious about? Moving too quickly. Just like slow down. Why is there such a rush to jump into another relationship? I mean, I know the answer, right? We have intimacy needs. We have
biological imperative.
Right, we do. I was there. I'm with y'all. I get it. But it's so harmful long term. Yeah. So I would caution against moving too quickly and not grieving well. I think grieving well looks like taking time to sit with those uncomfortable, unpleasant, painful emotions, all of those thoughts that come up that are like just super hard to hear, super hard to think about, just sitting with them and working through them, facing them, understanding what they mean, all of that stuff, like doing that hard work of getting to know yourself as separate and apart from the marriage, whatever identity you subscribe to in the marriage, whatever that meant for your life, and really coming to a place where you can get a sense of how and who you are alone. Like, by yourself as an individual. Figure out what you like again, right? Because when we're in marriage, we're coupled.
Mhm.
So I think grieving well is important, and just taking that time,
Yeah.
right? Don't rush. Don't be so quick.
But the fact that you even mentioned that even with women within the marriage, they kind of have already prepared themselves, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they were already halfway there, like in terms of when they were getting a divorce anyway, they were tapped out,
Yes.
you know?
I hear that.
Yeah. So is it a possibility that they would just, say, I don't want to wait long. I kind of
No,
understand
but it's not the
myself and-
same.
yeah.
It's not the same.
Okay.
So if I am in a relationship
Mhm.
and my heart checks out, but I haven't had a conversation with the person I'm in relationship with,
Right.
well, I haven't done my due diligence.
Okay.
I haven't treated that person with regard or respect,
Mhm.
which says something else
Yeah.
about me and my value system altogether. And perhaps I need to check myself on that.
Right.
And I've done it. So I had to check myself and face some things in me that I was
Mhm.
like completely floored by. Like, no, I am the relationships girl, and I treat people this way, and I just value people in the. But
Yeah.
I'm out here not having the conversation with someone to let them know that my heart is no longer in this thing while they're still committed, and they're still behaving like they're committed.
Mhm.
So I haven't honored them and their time
True.
and their attention. And yet I'm so about real relationships and all. No, there's stuff in me that needs to get checked, that needs to get worked out and worked through.
Yeah.
And I don't think that happens within the context of the marriage. It happens once you've fully decided and then taken action to extricate yourself from that space. And that means the divorce papers are signed.
Yeah.
That means there is a finality. That means there's a clarity and closure. There's clarity about where we're going,
Mhm.
about our decisions, and then there's closure on that. And then that starts a new phase of
Right.
grieving, a new phase of releasing, a new phase of transitioning. It doesn't happen when you're still in it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's the as much as, oh, well, I was in it for so long and I stayed in it because of the kids and I deserve to be out here living my best life and da da da. No, you're no.
Yeah.
You're giving too fast energy.
I like that. I like that. What do you think, Sam?
I think there's a lot of things that we can afford to do before we are ready,
Mhm.
but dating and relationships and even marriage are not one of them.
Yeah.
And to a degree, we'll never be fully ready, or we'll never know if we're fully ready. But if there's even a question
Wow.
about whether we're ready, and I'm speaking as somebody who's made this mistake time and time again, we're going to hurt the other people. And
Yep.
people matter. And then they're going to go and hurt other people as a result, right? Like the behaviors that Genevieve has talked about are at least partially, if not entirely, a direct result of the way of my hurt and the behavior that I did to her. So whatever
Yeah.
brokenness or trauma she experienced, she passed
Yeah.
on to a degree to some of the other people. And that's the dating climate that we have, where people are saying, like, men are trash or women or whatever, because that's it's a cycle,
Yeah.
right? It's a cycle that happens. So I am when I think about it sometimes, I grieve when I think about it sometimes. I grieve deeply the way that I've treated a lot of people, because
Mhm.
I was lonely, or I was bored, or my hormones were acting up,
Yep.
or whatever. And I was a lot more honest with people post-marriage.
Okay.
A lot more honest, but still, and it's not to say there was still some dishonesty for sure, but a big turn that I made was, I'm going to live as authentically as possible,
Okay.
right? Whether or not that is okay with whoever I'm around. So, but still, the volume of people that I have hurt and the depth of the hurt that I've caused because I wasn't healed, because I wasn't ready, is vast, and I don't know if I can ever make up for that, and because you can't heal. You can hurt somebody, but you can't heal somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when we're out here using people for to meet our own, like, really selfish needs, it never ends up well.
Yeah.
Relationships are still about serving at the end of the day.
Yeah,
and that's how they work best, when we serve, when we give, when we lean in, when we show up, when we support, when, you know what I mean, when we pay attention, we make the effort, when we're intentional. Like, those are all like this way from us to another. That's the direction that things work best in, right? And so you're doing this, they're doing that, and there's reciprocity. There's, you know, sort of mutual building up, growth, feeding of needs, and so on. But like, when you're just like, you're like a vacuum, you're like taking from the other person, you're always drawing because you need.
Exactly,
and it's because you're broken.
Yeah.
Like, you're bleeding out, you need blood.
Yeah.
Right. And this other person looks like they have a whole lot of blood to give.
Yeah.
But guess what? Their blood's gonna run out at some point.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
So
just quickly, just off topic with this, in terms of like the actual wedding day, and you had your bridal party and everything else, and I don't know the dynamics of what people were married, or, you know, they were still single or anything else. Like, them seeing you now, you know, what are their thoughts?
It's been intriguing to me how many of our friends that this podcast has triggered.
Wow.
Yeah, has been triggering for in some form or the other.
Okay.
And I think with time, like, we're about 20 episodes in terms of what we filmed, and I think a lot of them have come around. But I've had conversations where they're like, I can't watch it. Like, it's too traumatic, or like, I don't know why you guys are doing this. Like, I was there for you, you know, when you guys are bonding together. And it feels like you're making light of something that we felt, right? So I've heard some of that. Yeah, I'm not sure if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does kind of answer my question. And it's still going back to what you were saying about, you know, people having divorce parties and making like this big gimmick out of it. Would then that look like similar to what we're doing as a show? Like, in terms of like, how would you discuss having Gene get divorced? Like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think it can definitely be seen that way, for sure. You know, we're monopolizing, or what's the word? What's the word?
I need more context.
Just say it. Capitalizing. Thank you. Y'all be doing all kind of like drawing and stuff. I'm like, they were trying to do Pictionary over here. I'm like, just say the word. I don't know what the word is. Capitalizing on divorce, right? But I think what really stood out was the fact that there were so little resources while we were going through our divorce. We grew up in the church. You know what I mean? We have a particular culture that we are affiliated with and connected to.
Right.
West African, West Indian, you know, Caribbean. And so there are nuances to that. There are taboos and there are stigmas that are still present. And I studied to be a therapist, and I realized this huge gap in terms of our ability to heal emotionally and mentally and relationally. Yeah. What I'm talking about in our communities, people cut people off, they cut off family members, they leave places, they never talk to them again. And it I don't know what the word is. It depletes us. Yeah. It makes us less than we can potentially become. Yeah. We can never be as good with others with ourselves as we can be with others. Right. Right. We will never be our best alone. Right. Right. And so when it comes to all of these ways in which we are divided, and I mean, when do we start to do something different? When do we start the repair process? Right. Yeah. Right. But we can't do a repair process if we don't have tools and skills. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so that means we have to lean in at some point. Yeah. And for us, it's like, well, okay, let's try and lean in kind of thing. And that means dealing with a lot of the, you want to go ahead?
I'm just going to tag on to what you're saying. Like, divorce conversations, especially in circles that we come up with, are like one sentence conversations. Like, oh, what happened? Oh, we're divorced. How's your wife? Oh, we're divorced. Oh, sorry to hear that. So anyways, right? But then...
Like, and okay, so here's the thing. Divorce is like death. Yeah. Right? Divorce is like, it can be so detrimental on so many levels. So think about it. Someone says, oh, how's your mom? And you say, oh, she died. Someone's going to say, oh, okay. So where do you want to go for dinner? You would cut that person off in a minute. You'd be like, yo, you're not my friend because you're not for me. What do you... Hello? I've just gone through a terrible life situation. Yeah. No. But that's how it was. And that's how it's been. And that's how it likely still is in a lot of ways today. People aren't having these kinds of conversations.
Yeah.
But we have to recognize these are real life conversations.
Oh man, I'm gonna be careful. You know why
Be real. Come with it.
Because, like I had mentioned to Jen, I had mentioned to her earlier on that because my oldest daughter, she's gonna be 28 in June. Being with my husband, we've been married. This August will be 24 years. I just told Jen I'm starting my first therapy lesson. Like, nobody told me. Nobody told me about this. Like, nobody didn't. Do you understand? So now, here I am going to try to rediscover myself so I don't have to go through that separation, right? Because I've come so far.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this alone, I'm going to tell you now that this platform that you're doing has changed my perspective. Do you understand? Even in what I'm doing and speaking to those who are single and preparing them somehow, I'm like, listen, we got to go back. We got to change the way we've done in our culture in terms of like, fair enough, yeah, my parents are still together, but they didn't teach me that, like my dad didn't take me out on a date and say, hey, make sure that this guy's this and that, that I can forward that onto my kids. I have to learn through this. And again, being in the same situation, like, why didn't you tell me all of this, So this is just like really incredible to know. Sorry, I just had to bring that.
Yeah, no, thank you for that real moment. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the space for it.
Yeah.
The space for it.
Absolutely.
Good. And that's the thing. We're not having these conversations. No. We're not able to have these moments because everybody's out here like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I remember when I reached out, it was at a friend's baby shower, and her mother was like, hey, how's married life? And I was like, man, it's hard out here. And she was like, don't tell anybody that. Don't ever say that. Don't say anything about your marriage. And I was like, oh, great, thanks. Awesome. I'm just going to come out here and be like, everything's great. Everything's fine. No buns in the oven yet. No. Okay. Awesome.
I know.
Soon come.
And that's what people do though, right? So for me, like, they'll look at it like, you and your husband last so long and you got 5 kids in the house, things to do. And now I'm like, it's not okay. I'm going to tell you, when we're good, we're really good. But when things go crazy, I'm like, my husband told me I must go see a psychotherapist. Psychotherapist. He goes, no, you go. Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, yeah.
You need to go. I'm like,
of course he is.
And that's like, for us, this is the opposite of a divorce party. Like, we're trying to get into as much of the nitty gritty as possible so that we can have those conversations and spur those conversations in other people.
Yeah.
We didn't set out trying to get divorced.
Yeah. Right.
But we did set out, and we built it before. Now we did set out trying to facilitate healing and healthy relationships and conversations and interactions. So like, the reason we get into detail beyond, oh, you got divorced? I'm sorry to hear that. Like, because these things are happening all over.
Yeah.
The things that I did wrong, which are innumerable, many of the men are doing. The things that she did wrong and the things she went through and experienced, many of the women are experiencing. So that's as much as granular as we can get. It helps other people feel like they're not alone, and then maybe take some action.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
Okay. Wanted to ask you a question based on my children, but I'll get back to that. So you had mentioned, and I was going to ask anyway, are you dating now? And how has your perspective on relationships changed?
Thank you all for joining us today. Make sure if you haven't that you like, follow, share, subscribe. We'd love to have you, and we'll see you again soon.